Hi, welcome back. Today's recipe is going to be tomato, bacon and leek soup. It's quite a big recipe, so it'll easily serve a family of probably 6. So in this pan first, I have 200 grams of bacon. Any bacon will do for this. When this is at its cooking time, I'm going to use an immersion blender and I'm going to pass it through a sieve so that it's nice and smooth. And then we'll add a bit of cream in at the end. Those of you, of course, that like your soups chunky could leave it in, but me personally, no, it's a texture thing. So we're going to fry off this bacon a little bit. You can see it's in a nice big pot. I'm going to use 80 grams of butter, and I've got 2 frozen cubes, which is a clove each of garlic. I'm going to throw them in. Keep it all moving about. You can see the butter's melting down nicely. Once your butter's melted down, you need to add 4 large leeks and 2 medium onions, which have been washed and drained, and I'm going to pop them in. This is going to cook in the butter now, and you're going to allow it to cook for a good 5 to 10 minutes. So once it's cooked down a bit, I'll bring you back. Okay. Right, so we're back, and this has been going for a good 10 minutes now. Most of the butter is gone, cooked down. So here I have a very large amount of tomatoes. I've got a mixture of baby tomatoes, plum tomatoes, I've got the large tomatoes, I've just chucked in whatever. So you're going to need 1.5 pounds of the tomatoes. If they're the larger ones, do as I've done and just chop them up. But they're all to go in now. Give them a good stir. Like so. And again, I'm going to leave them for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just to soften and cook down, and then we'll be back. Right guys, so it's been 10 minutes. You can see some of these are starting to cook down. My temperature is on low actually, but it's quite a fierce cook, this one. Anyway, it's at 10 minutes, so what I'm going to do now is sprinkle in some flour. This will be thickening agent. While I'm chucking it all over myself. So for the flour, you want 3 tablespoons. Three tablespoons of the flour. lost the taste of raw flour, even though this is going to cook for a while after we've got everything in. You can see how thick that's got now already. Sorry, I do have the fan on here. It's quite hot. It's steamy. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add the stock. So I've used 2 chicken stock cubes and 1 vegetable stock cube, and there is 2 pints of liquid. So we're going to start pouring this in. And I've turned it down to low now. Making sure I've got all my stock cubes in there. So that's my liquid in. Let that cook. What we're going to do, now all the liquid's in, bring it to the boil and keep stirring. Just a few more ingredients to add once this comes to the boil. So one of my favourite things about this, especially when I use cherry tomatoes, is just popping them. I'll just pop them against the side. Just be careful if you do this though, because I have been splashed. It's like the little bubble wrap things that you liked, well, I say you liked to play with as a kid, but even now bubble wrap, I still have to sit there and pop them. That's what it feels like when you pop these. Don't need to pop them. I'm just passing the time until it comes to the boil. Make sure it's ideal really if you use this sort of spatula, one with a tapered edge. Then you can really get to the bottom of your pan and give it a good scrape. You don't want anything to burn. Right, we're nearly coming to the boil. Now, that's what I mean by getting splashed by it. That's nearly there now. My recipe does say to add salt at this stage, but if you think you've got 3 stock cubes in here which contain salt, plus you've got the bacon, I will probably leave the salt until nearer the end and then just season to taste. So what you're going to add into here next is 2 tablespoons of caster sugar, 1, 2. 2 tablespoons tomato puree. Then you can get it out. And it is. Black pepper to taste. I don't do too much because my kids won't eat it then. And then I've got a plate of fresh basil. I am going to, once I've stirred this, just roll and cut some in. Find some scissors, there we go. Or I might not actually, since it's, I might just tear them. It's going to be blended anyway. Just keep some back though, for decoration. Or if you're not bothered so much about decoration, then by all means throw them in. That's what I've kept back, just for decoration. So there's your basil gone in. Now you're going to turn it down to simmer. Once you've got all that in, you'll turn it down to simmer and leave it alone. That includes me popping the cherry tomatoes. Ooh. You're going to let it simmer for a minimum of 25 minutes. Then you're going to, during that 25 minutes, just make sure it's not sticking. I mean, you can see how fresh, well, I hope you can tell how fresh that looks. It's so tasty already. So after 25 minutes, make sure all the tomatoes are soft and that everything's cooked well, it's nice and thick. Bear in mind how thick this is now. I'm going to use an immersion blender, so it is going to get thicker. So if you want to add a little bit more liquid, then that's fine. So I'm going to leave mine to simmer now for 25 minutes and then I'll come back and then we'll take it from there. Okay. So we're back now. It's had its, not 25 minutes, mine took 35 and I added another half cup of water and that's what we've got. So now we're going to take an immersion blender. I would advise caution. This is hot. This is straight off the hob, so be very careful. I have got 2 settings on my immersion blender, and I do remember in one of my videos, luckily it was whisk and cream. I clicked the fastest setting and it went everywhere. So yeah, I would advise caution, especially with this being hot. So make sure it's well into the thing. And we want this as smooth as we can get it, and then we're going to pass it through a sieve as well. So we just need to get this all blended down. There we go, I want to splash myself. Just stop a second. You can already see the change. Changing colour and the smell. Whew. Smells lovely. I'll just spider with a piece of bacon. So keep going for as long as you think that there is any big chunks in this. It'll make it easier to get it through the sieve. We're going to get out. It's hot. Ooh, but it's nice. What am I looking at here? We'll see. Yeah. Spoon. So I've still got the huge piece of bacon, which I keep getting. So as you can see, mine's not too bad now. Like I said, if you wanted to have it like this, you could. Big chunk of tomato there. But that's what I don't like. I like this, but I don't actually like tomatoes. But I do like this soup. So if I found a chunk of tomato in it, I couldn't eat it. Like I said about the whole texture thing. So it's entirely up to you. If you have no problem with chunky soup, by all means, leave it at this. Obviously, chop up the bacon a bit more. But I don't have too much left. Just looks like chunks of tomatoes to me. It's blended it pretty well. And it's good and thick as well. So I'm going to try and get them last few bits. Pop it into the sink. Right, so I'm just going to get my other things together and then I'll show you the next step. So now we're back and I've washed up the pan that I cooked it in. Still very hot. All I'm going to do is pass it through this colander until all of this has gone through. Once you get to a certain stage with a certain amount in there, then you can see it is going through. Use the back of that. All it's keeping out is them bits that don't get blended, bits of onion, the skin of the tomatoes. You can see already it's still nice and thick under there. You're not losing much by doing this, and it's such a smooth soup to eat. And with this we've got like a French baguette, which we'll either toast and top with cheese, or we'll cut up and butter it with some salted butter, and that's what we'll use with this. So now I'm just going to get on with this, and so you don't have to suffer watching, I'll get my husband to speed this last part up, and I'll show you the end result. There you have it, guys. Look at that. Beautiful. And that is the only waste. That little bit of skin and stuff. That's the only waste. So, could I fit it in a ladle? No, just a bit more than a ladle full of waste. And that's just tomato skin. That just saved me the effort of steaming or boiling the tomatoes in the first place to remove the skins. So I'm just going to give this a taste. So that's plenty salty. Might not be to you. So salt to your individual taste. My husband's got high blood pressure, so he doesn't need too much salt anyway. But he can prepare his own dish. If you don't add it in the main pot, they can add it themselves. So that's it, guys. Tomato, leek and bacon soup. You saw how easy that was and how quick. It didn't take very long at all. And it's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Even though I kind of got to say that because it's my recipe. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoy. Because I will in the family tonight. Thanks for watching Mama Cooks Homemade. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Let's have a chat down below in the comment section and get to know each other. And there we have it. There'll be another recipe in another day or so. Hope you enjoy. Bye.